Greetings, beautiful people. I'm Gabby and this is So Quaint. I know on this channel you are used to sewing videos, but on today's episode we are going to be talking about my lock journey. I'm going to be going over 6 things: my start date, my parting system, my method of starting, my lock count, my maintenance, as well as the products that I use in my locks. If you are a lock lover, give this video a thumbs up because I know for sure that you're going to enjoy. And if you want to see more lock content as well as sewing content, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so that you will be notified whenever I post a new video. So let's get into it, right? First things first, my start date. So I started my locks on the 30th of August, 2022. At the end of this month, November, it's officially going to be 3 months since I have been locked. I started my locks with the intention of committing to myself, to growth, to self-development, and to building my discipline, and then also being able to see that discipline as a physical representation. The longer my hair grows, the more I'll be reminded of the discipline and commitments that I have put into it. I also feel like going on a lock journey is something that really builds your confidence, really builds your discipline, and really builds your patience. It allows you to fall in love with the most natural version of yourself. It helps you to fall in love with the parts of yourself that society may not necessarily be promoting. Because for the most part, society promotes big curly hair or straight hair, and here I am defying the odds with my locks. Right now, I want you to comment down below when you started your lock journey. If you already have locks, or if you're intending to start your lock journey, I want you to comment down below when you want to get started. This is actually my 3rd lock journey. I had locks twice before this, but this set of locks, more intentional. They're the size I want them to be, they're the number I want them to be. Everything is just set up right out the gate with the right intention, and it's not just something I'm doing just because I love the look of it. I feel like for locks, if you only want to get locks just for the aesthetics, then it's not going to be a journey that's going to be easy for you to stick to, because there's a growth phase that you have to go through. So the second thing is my method of starting. I started my locks with 2-strand twists, and that was for at least 2 months that I kept those 2-strand twists, but eventually I combined the locks that I had and I had them instant locked. Further down in the video, I'm going to be getting into that information, but initially I had about 74 locks and I pretty much just left them alone to do their thing. I even added cowrie shells to them, I washed them, I swam in the beach and river with them, and I pretty much palm rolled them and twisted them together each time just to get rid of the frizz. However, the frizz was getting out of control, so something had to be switched up, and I also realized that I wanted them to be bigger than how they were initially. My loose natural hair was about 6 inches before locking, so I'm just gonna go ahead and measure one of my locks to see how much it is. Let me see. This is about 3.5 inches. I must say also, there was somebody who asked me if I got lock extensions done, because apparently my hair looks like lock extensions. So interesting, like why would somebody get lock extensions this short? But that's what the lock world has become nowadays. You could go into the salon right now with an afro and come back out with a long head of locks. But as it relates to my parting system, I do have a grid parting system. My parts aren't perfectly squared. Some of them are rectangles, some of them look like polygons or whatever, but they are still, or my hair overall is still in a grid pattern. So it's pretty much just going straight across and coming down, and I do have a middle part right here, or a center part. So my intention is to have my locks eventually fall down like this the longer that they get. And I also parted them in such a way where I'd be able to have half up, half down, ponytails, 4 if I want. Essentially, that's my parting system. Lock count. I currently have 40 locks in my head. Initially, I had 74, but after combining, I end up with 40 locks. Some of them weren't combined, so some of them are much smaller than some, but for the most part I have 40 locks. Another way that I wanted to be intentional about this lock journey is to look up the meaning behind the number of locks that I had. So in terms of numerology, the number 4 represents stability, being solid, conscientiousness, and being balanced. And these are all things that I identify with and things that I want to embody on a continuous basis. So my locks will always remind me of being solid, of being stable, and of being balanced. If you have ever counted, I want you to tell me down below how many locks you have and what meaning have you attached to the number of locks that you have. That's if you even attached a meaning to them. So the fifth thing is maintenance. How I maintain my locks. At first, I was just palm rolling my locks, retwisting them, and pretty much just twisting them together in 2-strand twists. So when they got pulled out, they were like nice and curly. But as you can see, they got frizzy over time. And another thing that happened was that because I combined them, they were split at the ends. So for example, I would combine 2 locks, but they would be locked at the root, but then at the ends, they would just be like this. So I said, you know what, let me get this done or dealt with by a loctician. So a friend of mine recommended a really good loctician, and I went to her and she literally did her magic. This is what my locks looked like before getting her to work her magic on my hair, and this is what my locks looked like after she was done with what she was doing. She actually did what would be considered the instant lock method. So that's essentially to do my locks in such a way where they looked like they've been locked for years, they look like mature locks. So I was pretty much able to skip out the entire frizzy phase, which I'm okay with that because honestly I make a lot of appearances on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and just overall in person, and I want to make sure that I don't have to feel self-conscious. I don't want to feel like I look messy. I don't want to always have to wear a hat, so I just decided, let me just get it done. I don't have a problem with messy locks. However, that's something that I would prefer to wear in the confines of my own home. But this right here is the tool that she used in order to do the instant lock method. I honestly bought this set for myself because initially I was going to try to do it on my own, but I realized that there's so much more to it than just pushing this inside and outside of the locks. There's actually a whole technique to it that you have to know and understand, and I kind of gave up on the idea of grooming my own locks because I mean, yeah, it's nice to groom your own locks and to put your own intentions into your locks, but at the same time, sometimes it's better to just get a professional to do their thing instead of you having to try and figure out how to do it. I already have to do so many things on my own, so might as well just get somebody else to do certain things for me. I bought this set on Amazon, and as you can see, it came with 3 different pieces, one with a single, one with a double, and one with a triple. So if you are a loctician or this is something that you actually want to do for yourself, there's a link down below in my description where you can go get these on Amazon. And of course, that's a good way to support my channel as well because I do get a small percentage of your sale. I think it was probably like $8.99 or $7.99 for all 3 of those, and I feel like that's an exceptional value, especially if you're a loctician. That's something that's going to make you money forever. This is something else that she used in my hair. This is something that I was more familiar with and that most people are more familiar with. This one is actually easier to use. It's been approximately 1 week since I got my locks done, and I feel like they have definitely been swelling. I feel like they have been doing a whole lot better. The 6th and final thing that I'm going to be sharing in this episode is what products do I use. Currently, the only thing I use in my hair is this. It's a wonderful mixture that has rose water, aloe, herbs. So first things first, I got this product itself inside Fontana Pharmacy, and that's for anyone who lives here in Jamaica. If you live in another country, you'll probably be able to get this product elsewhere under another name. However, I took it upon myself to add in a few extra things. So I added peppermint oil, tea tree oil, vitamin E oil, jojoba oil, and castor oil. And then when my loctician told me about rosemary, I also added that. The tip that she gave to me was to steep a piece of rosemary and basically allow that water to cool and keep that in a spray bottle that I keep in the fridge and spray my scalp every day, 1 to 2 times for the day. I did exactly that. However, I added it to this mixture that I already had. So this was a recommendation she gave to me because I have seborrheic dermatitis, which is pretty much an extreme version of dry scalp. It's something that can flare up whenever you're under stress, whenever you eat dairy, whenever you don't sleep well, and it can also be as a result of your hair just not being moist enough or your scalp not being moist enough. I won't lie, I think this is really helping because usually within a week I would have flakes on my scalp and I don't see as many flakes as I usually would. So I really feel like this rosemary water, along with all these other things, I feel like it's been helping a lot. And I feel like overall, spraying your scalp on a regular basis if you have dry scalp is a really good thing to do, because what it does is to hydrate your scalp and prevent it from drying out, and then not to mention all the herbs and all the helpful things that are in this mixture will help to fight against the bacteria or the things that cause you to get seborrheic dermatitis, because rosemary, tea tree oil, and a lot of the other oils and elements in this have antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties. So what I would do is every morning when I wake up, I would just spray my scalp, spray all the parts, and I'd end up spraying my locks overall too, and I feel like that helps with swelling the locks. One of the things I was very curious about when I was thinking about if I should get the instant lock method done or not is if they would swell. If once they were locked the instant lock way, if they would stay that size forever. And I said, you know what, let me just take the leap and see what happens. Even if they don't swell, I'm still gonna be happy with my locks. But I have noticed that they have indeed been swelling, and I haven't even washed my hair yet. I know that once I wash my hair, they're gonna swell even more. Once I go to swim, they're gonna swell even more. So if you've been thinking about whether or not to get your hair instant locked, and that's a question that's been on your mind, well, there you have the answer. Spray your locks, wash them, and just give them time to flourish as they should. When I go to bed at night, I wrap my hair with a satin hair tie, and sometimes I'll go as far as putting my bonnet on top of that too, so that if the hair tie slides off, I still have my bonnet there as extra protection. One of the things I really love the most about having locks is to know that I don't have to worry about styling my hair when I wake up in the morning. I don't have to worry about pulling my hair out in another 3 weeks and getting it done over again, as it's the case with braids. I don't have to worry about detangling my hair when I go to swim or whenever I wash it, as is the case with having my afro or loose natural hair. So I'm absolutely loving this journey, and my intention is to have my locks grow as long as possible. If there is something that I missed out that you want for me to talk about where my locks are concerned, leave those in the comment box down below. This has been a lock journey talk with your girl Gabby. Go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.